Hello everybody! First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Annysa Ramadhani. You can call me Annysa, but a lot of friends of mine call me Ita. And I am an accounting student of Polytechnic Negeri Medan. In this opportunity, I would like to give you some tips about job interview. When you do a job interview, you have to give a good impression to hiring manager or recruiter. If you don't want to give them the bad impression, here are the tough things that ruin a first impression immediately. Number 1. The wrong attire. Try to be conservative in your choice of clothing and don't use heavy perfume or tones of makeup. You don't have to dress to the nines or anything. Just look neat and well put together. Number 2. Being late. You'll seem like an unreliable and unorganized person that doesn't respect people enough to value their times. Nothing good about any of that. So if you don't want to mess to be the way people view you, don't do it. Number 3. Forgetting people's name. To steer clear of this awkward situation, get into the habit of immediately repeating someone's name after you've been introduced, like, "Hi Diana, nice to meet you too." Number 4. Constantly checking your phone. Even if you're just taking the time on your screen, it comes off as extremely impolite when you do it during a conversation. Number 5. Making distraction noises. Some people overcome their nerves by doing some things like taps their foot or fingers, or drums their pad on the decks and others. If you do any of these things, don't do that. And here are the tips if you want to overcome your nerves. The first tips. Make yourself comfortable in the space before the interview. If you're in the waiting room waiting to be placed into the interview room, then sit there and breathe and get connected to the space and get yourself grounded. Second tips. Prepare your stories and responses in advance. What you really want to focus on is making sure that you fully know what sample stories, achievements, and responses you're going to have for the most common questions that come up in the interview. The third tips. Practice your answer on camera beforehand, especially if you're going to doing a video call interview, then you really want to be able to look at yourself in your own laptop and see how you look while you're giving your answer and responses. Fourth tips. Focus on them, not on you. You need to make sure that what you're delivering lands on their side in the right way. Shift your focus away from you. Shift your focus onto making sure that every word and every sentence that comes out of your mouth is being delivered nicely and landing nicely with the hiring manager. And the fifth tips is dress the part. This may sound obvious, but the way we look impacts the way we feel. So let's continue about things that ruin your first impression. Number 6. Invading someone's personal space. When it comes to meeting someone for the first time, keep a minimum of 4 feet between the two of you. If you stand too close to them, you may come off as aggressive, but if you stand too far away, you seem uninterested. Just try to find a happy medium and stick to it. Number 7. Picking the wrong conversation topics. We never know what subjects can make someone feel uncomfortable, so it's better to play it safe and avoid the general taboo topics out there. They include health problems, money, religion, politics, or personal problems and complaints. Number 8. Playing with your hair. If you play with your hair while talking to someone, you could be sending them the wrong message. First, they might think you are flirting with them, but more importantly, a person who plays with their hair during a conversation looks unconfident, anxious, and uncomfortable. If you tend to do this when you are nervous, try to kick this habit. Number 9. Avoiding eye contact. People that avoid eye contact, on the other hand, are viewed as less sincere, more anxious, and even unattractive. Just don't be afraid to lock eyes with another person from time to time. Number 10. Chewing gum. Chewing on gum makes you look immature, self-centered, and somewhat lowbrow. So don't even think about it for a job interview. You want to show your best, are you? Number 11, keeping your hands in the wrong position. You can put them on your lap, but never keep them in your pockets because this gives the impression that you're hiding something. If you place your hands on the table, don't squeeze them too tightly or lift them flat with your palms down. This makes people feel like you want to control them. Number 12, a weak handshake. Another common mistake people make is holding someone's hands for too long. If you're gonna give the right impression of confidence and capability, remember to grip the other person's hand firmly and for no longer than 2 seconds. That will put you on the road to success. The next tips about job interview is about body language in an interview. The first tips is interviewers want to feel at ease. In order for the interviewers to feel at ease with you, you need to feel at ease with yourself. You're gonna go in with that positive mindset because you're feeling good in yourself. They're gonna feel that energy, so you have to remember it all starts with you. You go back yourself, ask yourself, and am I feeling positive? Am I feeling good? Am I feeling confident? If you're not, then you have to develop a way to get yourself feeling that way. The second tips, you're the expert, so be the expert. You're the expert means you have what they're looking for. You have the technical skill, the experience, and the knowledge, and the ability and potential to take this role. So you have to remind yourself that it's about being somewhere in the middle, having that calm, confident tone in your voice and the way that you present yourself. The third tips, be present every second that you're there. The reason for that is because when they ask you a question, they expect for your answer to really resonate with them. They expect that the answer is going to be directly answering that specific question. They expect that the answer is going to be directly answering the specific question that they've asked. And so what happens if you seem as though you're not really listening to them? You come across as being a little bit fragile essentially, that you're not present essentially, you're not connecting with them. And so the most important tip is to be present, be there. They ask you a question, you take it, but you have to give yourself that space and time and that opportunity to truly tap in and listen and pay attention to the person in front of you, but also pay attention to what you feel. It's the right thing to say at that point in time. And the next tip about job interview is 5 things you should never say in a job interview. First, don't talk bad about your company because if you didn't like working there, it will be in no time flat that you'll be saying the same things about them when they hire you. That's just the way it goes. People who don't like where they work at, it doesn't take them long to not like the new place. Second, don't say I will do anything. It doesn't matter what it is, I'll do anything. If you go into a job interview and say I don't care what it is, I'll do it, I'll do anything. When you do this, you end up showing a certain level of desperation that just doesn't come out very well. It just sends a message of desperation. The third, when the hiring manager is asking you the question, tell me about yourself. Don't say about your whole life story, your hobbies, your family, your favorite food, or something like that. So, from now on, when you hear the question, tell me about yourself, that equals what value could you bring to the company, what problems can you solve for the company. That's what they are asking, and you shouldn't go on about all your background and all of that. The fourth, when they ask you question, do you know how to do this? Don't tell them that you don't know how, although it's the truth. You can answer, let me think about that for a second. Then you think, and what you want to do is to connect it to something that's similar to what you've done. Then you can answer, I haven't done that exact thing, but I've done something that's similar. It shows them that you at least have some level of understanding of what they're talking about. The fifth, when you go into the interview, don't ask them, so what does your company do here? That's the worst thing you can do. It shows that you did absolutely no research, no preparation on this company, just division, the department or the project that they're working on or anything. Okay everybody, that's all the tips that I can share with you. Hopefully it can help you to pass your job interview. Thank you for watching this video and see you next time.